Generally, it's sad when someone is killed and we want to mourn. It's not happening today.
A mix of joy and mourning best described the scene at Ground Zero the day after the announcement of terrorist Osama bin Laden's death. Queens native Michelangelo Salzito was one of the many New Yorkers who came to pay his respects, and he seemed very relieved to know that the catalyst of one of the most tragic events in American history had finally been slayed.
There is a jubilation that this kind of a personage has left our planet.
The former York College professor says that bin Laden's death instantly reminded him of how he first heard the news of the attacks that would in total take the lives of over 3,000 people.
My partner comes into the bathroom and tells me, the World Trade Center has just been hit by an airplane. And I said, you know, you're not going to get me out of the bathroom any faster by saying things like that. And he said, I'm serious.
It certainly was an atmosphere to be a part of, with thousands of people gathered at Ground Zero. Signs and flowers stood in memoriam, all showing the remaining emotional effects still caused by the attacks.
I still have night sweats. I can't sleep. Destroyed my marriage.
Manhattan resident Nereda Soto lived just 3 blocks from the World Trade Center, and she vividly recalls evacuating from the 33rd story of her apartment on the day of the 9/11 attacks. She does feel some relief from the death of bin Laden, but even more a sense of worry.
In the subways, at Penn Station, Port Authority, we just have to be on guard.
But the possibility of an increased threat could not overshadow the patriotism that filled the sidewalks.
It's a real shot in the arm, for America, because we've kind of really been down a lot about a lot of things lately. Here you see people, they kind of believe again in their country, that something can get done.
Astoria's Janet Lawler added that the sullen mood surrounding Ground Zero was one in mourning, and also a chance of some kind of closure for the victims' families.
I know last night it was a lot of craziness in Times Square and celebrating and everything, but today it seems like people are reflecting a little bit more, especially here at Ground Zero, and I think they feel, some justice for the families.
It seemed fitting that construction work noised through the scene at Ground Zero as the World Trade Center Memorial was being built. Progress was its theme as an effort set forth to help move on from that tragic day. And although never forgotten, with the mastermind of the 9/11 attacks now dead, Americans can move closer to ending that chapter in the encyclopedia that is their history.
We had friends who actually joined in the military and lost their lives in supporting this cause. And it'll never replace what the families have lost, but I think it's a great victory for America.
Susan Matera, who was scheduled to fly into New York on September 11th, 2001, perhaps put it best when putting the recent events in perspective.
Today, of all days, there was a patriotic obligation to come down and remember those who gave the sacrifice.
Reporting from Ground Zero, Mike Murabito, Long Island Report.